it's great to be here. It's been an annoying room though, because the angles from this side to that side is very big, so I'll probably strain my neck standing here trying to talk to everybody. I like to talk to people in the eye and make them feel bad because they're texting or writing on their keyboard instead of listening to me or somebody else up here. Anyway, as you know, most of you know, my name is Stefan Lindeberg, and I've been with Netnod for 6 months, and I think it's 5 months since we had the last meeting, our fall meeting, which was the first time I was on stage, and we actually employed 4 people, so 6 months, 5 months, and we hired 4 new people since the last meeting. Shui, Henrik, Anders, I don't know if MC or Michael has arrived yet. So I tried to think about something with 3, the third or 3, and I realized it's actually the 3rd time I'm on the stage on a Netnod meeting. A couple of years back I was a presenter during the Netnod meeting. So then it's down to 2, and during the last 6 months we completed 2 large development projects, or we've been heavily engaged in 2 large development projects within Netnod, and we'll hear a lot about one of the projects later, the NTP project, the National Time project we delivered on behalf of PTS, which we'll talk a lot about later. And we've also invested a lot of resources and time in our DNS services, which I'll touch on briefly later on during the update. So to start with what's happening on our exchange side, if we look at it, the most important factor to look at is, are we connecting more people? And we're connecting more people to our exchange points, and that's the most important factor. What's extremely interesting to me is the development where we see that the last couple of years, we've seen a very big increase in the number of ports sold through the REACH program by our reseller partners. And we recently added a 6th new partner, and I would like to especially welcome NLIX as our 6th partner to our REACH reseller program. And we're looking to have more partners as time goes by. I think this is really interesting. It widens the market penetration and the attraction for the services provided by the IXs. So I think this is really, really interesting. And by the way, I love these country balls. So you'll see a few of them during the slides. If we look at our IXs, we've seen very interesting development the last couple of years. Oh, this is the font not installed or something. Oh, anyway, in our comics exchange point, where since we connected Malmö and Copenhagen, we've seen very big growth in the number of attached customers and the number of ports, and a growth that's continuing into this year. And based on interest at DK last week and the interest we're getting from customers, we've decided to invest more in our comics exchange point. And what we're doing and what we're deploying as we speak is an extension of the IX, which will give us more capacity, more redundancy, and ability to deliver the services in more locations in Copenhagen. So if you're not already connected in the 2nd largest IX in the Nordics, I definitely think you should consider doing it. A small little Danish ball hiding in the corner. To continue to the west, last year we initiated a cooperation with Nix, and we're cooperating on technology and platforms, and we're also going to do event and market activities together, and based on that, continue working closely together. Internally at Netnod, we're also looking at our next generation IX architecture. How are we going to continue to deliver the rock-solid services going forward, taking into account what's happening, customer distribution, density, and new technology and platforms available from the vendors. Spent a week earlier this year in the Valley and met all potential vendors, and it's interesting to see the trends and capacity and the density in the next generation platforms coming along that will allow us to provide more services at higher capacity at lower price. And also we want to take in all experiences from other IX, from the IX community, to learn from other people as well. So we're working hard to establish a new platform and what kind of new services we could provide on the new platform going forward. And more on that after summer. Going on to DNS, as you know, we have our DNS node services deployed globally in more than 50 locations, and we've seen a very good growth the last year, more than 30% year-over-year growth in the number of queries. All numbers are increasing, so it's really good to see that our customers are really getting the full benefit of the services we provide. We've had a number of DDoS attacks. Lehman will come back to that later, so I won't dwell on that. What I would like to say though, is that today, 11% of all sites are dependent on us for their lookups, or rely on us to provide globally resilient, high availability lookups for their sites, which I think is really something we should be really proud of, that Netnod in little Sweden can provide this service globally. Looking at what we're doing to maintain and increase the service level and the services, we've of course expanded the number of Anycast sites globally, and we're continuously working to deploy new, faster hardware to reduce the footprint, and we've also developed the software and the deployment tools to allow us to use locally sourced hardware, and we can also use partner hardware. So for example, if a partner to us wants to deploy more services in a certain part of the world, we could do it on their hardware as well. I alluded to before that we've invested a lot of resources in developing our DNS node platforms. And we've added a lot of new functionality, new APIs, graphical user interfaces. And what we want to achieve with a lot of this investment is to enable partners to resell our DNS services. So partners that want to sell globally resilient Anycast services to their customer base can sign up to be a partner with us. We're currently working with a limited number of select partners to start to deploy it. If you're interested, if you know anybody that's interested, please talk to Lorani, Karina, or me, or anybody else in the Netnod team. We're looking for a few more partners to start rolling it out. And 2016 is a great year for Netnod. It's actually our 20th anniversary. October this year is the 20th anniversary for Netnod AB. It's the 25th year anniversary for the iRoad servers. And we will properly celebrate this during our fall meeting, when it's the official 25-year birthday for Netnod. Sorry, 20th birthday for Netnod. And by that, over to something completely different.